तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and today we have to start in English chapter 40. The Master at the houses of Balaram and Girish, Friday, April 24, 1885. Bengali, page 812, Sri Ramakrishna, Calcutta Bhakti Mandire Agamat. So it's a new topic. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, M arrived at Balaram's house in Calcutta and found the master asleep in the drawing room. One or two devotees sitting near him, resting near him. So they must have finished their lunch earlier and they are resting now at 1 o'clock. M began to fan the master gently. A few minutes later, Sri Ramakrishna woke up and sat on the bed with his clothes in a rather untidy condition. Okay. M saluted him and took the dust off his feet. Master, tenderly to him, are you well? So he is not well, but he is asking, are you well? I am feeling rather uneasy, he tells. In Bengali, they have inserted a subheading that the throat problem has started. I am feeling rather uneasy. I have a sore in my throat. I suffer very much during the early hours of the morning. Can you tell me now how I may be cured? In a worried tone. They served pickled mango with the meal. I ate a little of it. He hints that might have aggravated a little. How is your wife? See, he is suffering. He tells about that. But he is more anxious about Master's health. How is your wife? So, he is more concerned about the devotees than himself. I noticed the other day that she was looking rather sickly. She has not told, but Thakur has seen. Give her soothing drinks to keep her nerves cool. We know that she was mad-like behaving because her son had died. And so the inside becomes hot, so give some cooling drink. M. Green coconut milk, sir. Green coconut milk, tender coconut, they could have said it. In Bengali, in English, something is missed. In Bengali, dab tap. That means either tender coconut or something of that type. That is the meaning. Master. Yes, a drink made of sugar candy is also good because he wanted to know something else. So, drink means sugar candy dissolved in water. That's all. M. Since last Sunday, I have been living at our house with my parents. Because of too much quarrel in the house, for some days he had lived with his wife in a separate house. Sri Ramakrishna had never liked that. But Master Mashai had felt no way out, so he has stayed. But now the wife is also cool and he has gone back to his parents' house. Master, you have done well. It will be convenient for you to live at home. Since your parents live there, you won't have to worry so much about the family. Yes, very true. While Sri Ramakrishna was talking, his mouth became dry. He said to him like a child, I feel a dryness in my mouth. Do you all feel that way? So whether it is due to disease or it's normal, he wanted to check. So he's asking all of you. M. To Jogin. Is your mouth also drying up? So M transmits that to other devotees. Jogin, no. Perhaps it is due to the heat outside it. Yogindra of Aryadaha was an intimate disciple of Sri Ramakrishna and later, after the passing away of the master, renounced the world. That Yogin Maharaj stayed in Dakshineshwar itself. Hededar Yogin, maybe. Sri Ramakrishna's clothes were still untidy. Some of the devotees smiled. Sri Ramakrishna never cared for his clothes. Only when there were gentlemen, he used to try to dress up. Master, I look like a mother nursing her babies. That type of cloth. All laugh. Well, my tongue is drying up. Shall I eat a pear or a jamrul? Jamrul is a fruit. The main property is that it emits juice and the throat becomes normal. Throat becomes soothed. Otherwise, pear. Nashpati, okay. Pear or jamrul. Baburam. let me get a jamrul for you. That means he'll go to market or some garden and bring it. Master, you don't have to go out in the sun. It is hot now. So he's everywhere we see is more careful about the devotees than his own body. Though he wants to eat a jamrul, but he does not want somebody to go in the heat. M was still fanning the master. Master, you must stop now. You have been fanning a long time. M. I am not tired, sir. So he is careful about the master. Master tenderly. No. That means he wants to confirm that he is not tired. M taught in a school in the neighborhood. He had a little recess at 1 o'clock, during which he visited Sri Ramakrishna. It was time for him to go back to the school. He saluted the master. Master to him, must you go now? A devotee. School is not over yet. He came here during recess. Master smiling. He is like a mother with 7 or 8 children. Day and night she is busy with her worldly duties, but now and then she makes time to serve her husband. Indian traditions, huh? 7, 8 babies and so many household works. So she is busy, but somehow she will find a little time to come to the husband. M school closed at 4 o'clock. He came back to Balram's house and found the master sitting in the drawing room. So now they are not sleeping at 4 o'clock. The devotees were arriving one by one. The younger Naren and Ram came. Narendra too was there. That is elder Naren, Swami Vivekananda. M saluted the master and took a seat. The lady sent a plate of halwa for Sri Ramakrishna. Those who are not conversant with North Indian thing, well, in Maharashtra, it is called Shira. Because halwa in Maharashtra is a very different thing. Halwa is a til sweet which is taken during Sankranti. And what is called halwa in Hindi and in Bengali, perhaps in Gujarati also, in Maharashtra it is called Shira. In Tamil Nadu, there is a peculiar combination. The same thing and a little saffron color added to it is called kesari. Now this is a peculiar thing because in Maharashtra there is kesari bhat, rice, pulao you may say, sweetened rice, and their actual saffron is put, and that is called kesari bhat. In Tamil Nadu, that kesari word is taken as a colored something, and it is made of what we call rava, the wheat thick powder. It is made of that, and that is halwa, shira. So either from the wheat flour or with a thick wheat flour, and that is fried in ghee and sugar is added. Little water is sprinkled. Now that is a very soft food. Sri Ramakrishna's throat has not gone so bad not to take anything except liquid, but hard things difficult to swallow. And so the ladies of the house halwa. So for non-Indians, I told you the different Indian names. For non-Indians, it is, I described that also, made of wheat flour or thick wheat flour, fried in ghee, little sugar added to it, and little water is sprinkled. That becomes a soft, sweet food. Because of the sore in his throat, he could not eat any hard food. Master to Narendra, this is nice stuff. Eat some. It is good. Eat some. So here also we see, as soon as he is something nice, though it has been made for his throat, he is asking his dear devotees to eat it. Or laugh. Laugh means in Bengali, one can understand. Nice stuff. Bengali, mal. Mal means a, a costly thing. Mal means a special something. That is mal. And that made people laugh that halwa is calling mal. He is not calling halwa. That is his humor also and love for his devotees also. Dusk was coming on. Sri Ramakrishna was about to go to the house of Girish, who had arranged a festival in celebrating the master's coming. Now, Girish's house is very near Balram's house. The master came down from the second floor of Balram's house, upper story. Second story in English idiom is ground, first, second. Second floor may not mean it, but in Balram's house, there were not 3 stories. There might be terrace there. So ground floor, top floor. Ground floor, first floor. Master came down from the first floor of Balram's house with M and a few other devotees. Near the gate, he saw a beggar chanting the name of Rama and he stood still. As soon as the name of Rama went, he stood still. He fell into a meditative mood and remained standing a few minutes. He said to him, "He sings well." A devotee gave the beggar 4 pies. No, there is no coin of pies. Now, below 1 rupee, the beggar also may not accept anything. But those days one could purchase something for 4 pies. Sri Ramakrishna entered Bospara lane. Laughing, he said to him, "What are these people saying? There comes Paramahamsa's battalion." That is how they used to address devotees going with Sri Ramakrishna. What these fools say, all laugh on that expression of the general public. Oh, in the original Bengali, halwa is not mentioned. Halwa is a Hindi word. In Bengali, it was called Mohan Bhog. Now that Bengali expression, in English it has been variously translated. Fools, rascals. In Bengali, shala. Now shala literally means brother of one's wife. But that is not the intended meaning at all. It's a endearing and a little endearing and not so praiseworthy. That's all. It's not a condemning word, not so praiseworthy and endearing. That could be the import of the word shala. Now in English there is no such word. You cannot translate brother-in-law. It will have no meaning, no import. So sometimes in English we find rascal, sometimes in English we find fool, and in translation we can never get the taste of the original. But one thing we notice that in whatever language gospel is presented, it tastes sweet always. But those who want exact, my suggestion to them would be learn Bengali and study the original Kathāmrita. Sri Ramakrishna entered Girisha's house. The latter had invited a large number of devotees to join the festival. So Girish is celebrating a festival and a large number of devotees he has invited. Many of them were present. They all stood up to receive the master, who smiling took his seat. The devotees sat around him. Among them were Girish, Mahimacharan, Ram and Bhavanath, and also Baburam, Narendra, Jogin, the younger Naren, Chuni, Balaram, M, and the other devotees who had accompanied the master from Balaram's house. So some party already in Girish's house, some party from Balaram's house, they are gone. Master to Mahima Charan, I said to Girish about you, there is one very deep. That means read so many books. You are only knee deep. Girish also can argue. Girish also can talk. He also is known as a scholar, though he has not read many books. And so Thakur is telling, you are knee deep, there is one very deep. Now you must help me check up on what I said. He is telling Mahimacharan this thing. I want to see you two argue, but don't compromise. Now, this is an important thing. If philosophers argue, lot of new things come up which a man can benefit from. And if they compromise, then that beauty is lost. So you hold on to your side, you should hold on to your side and argue. Girish and Mahimacharan started their discussion. Soon Ram said, let them stop. Let us have some kirtan. I remember here, in Amritsar, there was a devotee, a professor. He was very much devoted to the gospel. But he is reading and some topic related to jnana has come. Immediately said, skip that, skip that, skip that, proceed next. Though he is devoted to the gospel. So there are some people who are allergic to discussion and they want only sentiment, emotion. So amongst Thakur's devotees, we find Ram to be one of them. And so he says, no, 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 don't discuss. Let us have Kirtan. Master to Ram, no, no. This has a great deal of meaning. They are Englishmen. I want to hear what they say. What is the meaning of Englishmen here? And I want to hear them. English educated men which provide the sense of argument. This part of English education that a man becomes more inclined to reason than to feeling. And because of that, and Thakur will pick up everything that he wants, the spiritual part of it. So that Thakur likes discussion that we have seen. Because to Master Mash, I would say, stop, don't discuss. Promise you will not discriminate. Because Master Mash has one-sided, unnecessary it was. He was proceeding nicely. On the other hand, Mahimacharya is proud of his knowledge. Girish is a devotee, but he can argue well. So Thakur will pick up, and the others who are listening will also get benefited. So he overrules Ram's objection. You understand? They are Englishmen. English educated people have a tendency to believe too much on reason and argue. But they will discuss and I will find out. I want to hear what they say. How the Western people argue that Thakur wants to find out. Mahimacharya contended that all could become Krishna by means of sadhana. Girish said that Sri Krishna was an incarnation of God. However much a man practiced sadhana, he could never be an incarnation. So Mahima is bent towards knowledge. Girish is bent towards bhakti. He can argue well, but he is bent towards bhakti, accepts Sagun Brahma, accepts incarnation, especially incarnation becomes Jagat Guru, incarnation becomes a source of permanent support to devotees. Mahimacharya, being a devotee of knowledge so-called, is comparatively dry, and Thakur has one more interest in this discussion, that through that Mahima will also get a glimpse of bhakti. He will turn towards bhakti that will benefit him. That is all Thakur wants. Mahima, do you know what I mean? Let me give an illustration. The bale tree can become a mango tree if only the obstructions are removed. It can be done by the practice of yoga. So, this is mostly theoretical, though from the subtler point of view, that is possible. like the commutation of metals for atomic power. Girish, you may say whatever you like, but it cannot be done either by the practice of yoga or by anything else. Only a Krishna can become Krishna if anybody has all the attributes of another person. Radha, for instance, then he is none other than that person, Radha herself. Now here he is arguing, but actually, is it not Mahima's position? But some difference. We must understand this. Somebody becomes that and somebody is that. That is the difference here. If anybody has all the attributes of another person, Radha for instance, then he is none other than that person, Radha herself, if he has the attributes. If I see in a person all the attributes of Krishna, then I shall conclude that I am seeing Krishna himself. So, this is another thing than becoming Krishna. Mahimacharya could not argue well. At last he had to accept Girish's views. That was one of the interests of Thakur. Mahima to Girish. Yes, sir, both views are right. So you understand that this is from the devotee standpoint. And so he accepts without giving up his position. Both views are right. God has willed the path of knowledge. He has also willed the path of bhakti, pointing to Sri Ramakrishna. As he says, by different paths, people ultimately reach one and the same goal. Master, aside to Mahima, you see what I said was right, isn't it? So, Mahima has accepted Thakur's statement. Here I remember something. In Trichinapalli, the Sringeri Shankaracharya Math has a sort of a branch. And the two Paramacharyas of Sringeri Math, the senior and the junior, they had come to Trichy and they were having a 3-day function. They invited the head Swami at Coimbatore. He deputed me. And with me, one or two more sannyasis of Coimbatore, we all went there. Now, the chief speaker was one from Jivan-Vikas Math. And no, what I mean is that he was a thorough Shankarite Vedanti as he thought about it. And in my speech, I had said that all paths lead to the same goal. Thakur has told us. In his speech, he contradicted it without argument. We don't believe that all paths reach the same goal. Only Shankar Siddhanta can do it. Only Shankar Siddhanta can do it. You know, Swamiji has repeatedly told, no Siddhanta can do anything. You have to practice sadhana and change yourself. And that also that man denied. He said, don't expect any mystic experience. Just rationally understand what Shankar teaches and you realize the goal. So, the man who was conducting I pressed him that I want to speak again. And I made him agree. And I told that Swami referred to some shloka of Viveka Chudamani. I said, in Viveka Chudamani, there are more than 100 shlokas on meditation, on samadhi, on mystic experience. So how can he deny that? That is by Shankaracharya. And don't expect mystic experience. Shankara has said in Vivek Chudamani, without the aparokshanubhuti, without the very special type of experience, only the word Brahman is not going to give you anything whatsoever. Very clear statement. And in Shloka, he has detailed that also. From the man who knows, you should know where gold exists. Then you have to dig it out. Then you have to cleanse it. Then you have to melt it so that it loses all the other impurities. Then only you get gold. So, this is the problem with so-called Shankarites. When the meeting was over and I was coming out of the gate, most of the audience ran behind me and said, what Swami you are telling is right. Without experience, nothing can happen. But this, I'll use the word fool. This fool was saying like that. So Mahima has at least come to accept the path of bhakti also out of that discussion. And Thakur is glad about it because he had found Mahima was taking too much to knowledge. And because of this discussion, Mahima has agreed. Now he does not challenge Mahima in front of all people. That will be like insulting. So aside, he says, aside to Mahima, you see what I said was right, wasn't it? Mahima, yes sir. As you say, both paths are right. Master pointing to Girish, talking to Mahima. Haven't you noticed how deep his faith is? He forgot to eat his refreshments. I like a dog. He would have torn your throat if you hadn't accepted his view. But we have enjoyed the discussion. You two have known each other. That is so many advantages Thakur is telling. By talking, you come to know the inner thoughts of a person. So many purposes are served. We have all enjoyed. You two have known each other. And I myself have learned many things. Thakur is telling. New arguments, new positions, he has learned. The musician arrived with his party and sat in the middle of the room. Girish has engaged a musician as part of the celebration. He was waiting for a sign from Sri Ramakrishna to begin the kirtan. The master gave his permission. After this discussion, Ram to the master, please tell them what to sing. Though Girish has arranged, but Ram is the director of proceedings. Master, what shall I suggest? After a little reflection, well, let them sing the prelude to the union of Radha and Krishna. So generally, these kirtans are divided into three parts. One is Purvarag, prelude, then the development of the love, and then meeting. ঠাকুর একটু চিন্তা করিয়া আচ্ছা অনুরাগ. Thakur has not asked for Purvarag. Anurag means love. What shall they sing? Let them sing about the love of Radha and Krishna or love as the means of realizing God. Then it's correct. Now here, this prelude has killed because I was feeling anomaly. Thakur has told prelude and the musician is singing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prelude is between Radha and Krishna. And the musician is singing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this prelude has killed it. Thakur is telling Anurag. Then it is fine. Chaitanya's state is of great love. Oh, how small words delude a man. Prelude to the union. Well, let them sing about the love. If we only say, let them sing about the love. You see, on the surface, everything is all right and sweet. But when you are trying to understand critically, then you find the anomalies. The musician sang, I found it so much anomalous. He's trying to sing the prelude of Radha and Krishna, and he sings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My Gora, my treasure, the jewel among men, weeps as he chants Sri Radha's name and rolls on the ground with fervent love. He chants her name again and again. Tears stream from his love-filled eyes. Once more he rolls upon the ground. As chanting her name, he faints away. The hair on his body stands on end. His tongue can lisp but a single word, says Basu. Basu is the composer of this song. Why is Gora so restless? Bengali. अरे मोर गोरा द्विजमणि राधा राधा बोली कांदे लोटाए धरणी राधा नाम जपे गोरा परम जतने सुरधुनी धारा बहे अरुण नयने खणे खणे गोरा अंग भूमे गड़ी जाए राधा नाम बोली खणे खणे मुर जाए पुलके पुरलो तनु गद गद बोल बासु कहे गोरा क्यानो है तो उतरोल. The kirtan continued. Radha had met Krishna on the bank of the Yamuna under the Kadamba tree. Her companions describe her physical and mental condition. So this is the link. Now the song. घोरेर बाहिरे दंडे शतबार तिले तिले ऐसे जाए मनो उचाटन निश्वास सगन कदम्ब कानने चाय राई एमन केनो वाफलो गुरु दूरजन भय नाही मन कोथा बाकी देव पाहिलो सदाई चंचल वसन अंचल संवरण नाही करे बशी बशी ताके उठे ये चमकी भूषण खसिया पड़े वयसी किशोरी राजार कुमारी ताहे कुलवधू बाला किंवा अभिलाषे आशय लालसे ना बुझी ताहार छला ताहार चरिते हेन बुझी चिते हाथ बढ़ाइलो चांदे तुलसीदास चंडीदास कहे करी अनुनय ठेकेचे कालिया पांदे. 100 times each hour in and out of the room she goes, restless, breathing hard. She looks toward the Kadamba grove. Is she afraid of the elders? Has she been possessed by a ghost? Filled with restlessness, she cannot keep her dress arranged. Her jewels have fallen off. She trembles every now and then. Alas, she is so young, a princess born, and a wife besides. Princess means high birth. What is it that she craves? We do not understand her mind, but we can guess her hand, but we can guess her hand is reaching out to catch the moon. Something not possible to get, she is trying to get. Humbly said Chandidas, Radha has fallen in Krishna's trap. Trap of Krishna's love. The Kirtan went on. Radha's friends said to her, tell us, O Radha, of comely face, tell us what it is that ails you. Why has your mind wandered away? Why do you claw the earth in frenzy? Tell us why your golden skin has taken the ashy hue of cinders. From your body, the scarlet cloth has dropped unheeded to the ground, and your eyes are red with tears. Your lovely lotus face has withered. Tell us what it is that ails you, lest our hearts should break with grief. कहो कहो सुरधनी राधे सुरधनी सुवदनी सॉरी कहो कहो सुवदनी राधे की तोर होइलो वियाधे কেন তোর আনমন দেখি কাহে নথে খিতি তলে লিখি নখে খিতি তলে লিখি হেমকান্তি ঝামর হইল রাঙ্গাবাস খসিয়া পড়িল আঁখি যুগ অরুণ হইল মুখপদ্ম শুকাইয়া গেল এমন হইল কি লাগিয়া না কইলে ফাটি যায় হিয়া এত গুণী কহে এত শুনি কহে ধনেরাই শ্রী যদুনন্দন মুখ চাই Okay. So Radha has replied in the last line. We did not read that in English. Radha says to her friends, in between, in prose it is a part of that song. Radha says to her friends, I long for the sight of Krishna's face. The musician sang again. Hearing Krishna's flute, Radha has gone mad. She says to her friends, who is the sorcerer that dwells in the Kadamba grove? His flute notes suddenly enter my ears and strike a chord in my heart, piercing my very soul. They slay my dharma and drive me mad. With restless mind and streaming eyes, alas, I can scarcely breathe. As he plays his magic flute, how he plays his magic flute, whose music thrills my soul, because he is out of my sight, my heart expires. I cannot stay home. My soul yearns for him, racked with pain, it longs to see him once more, says Uddhav Das. So different musicians, but the singer combines. Says Uddhav Das, but you will die, O Radha, when you behold him. Go back to Bengali. पहिले शुनिनु अपरूप ध्वनि कदम्ब कानन होइते तारपर दिने भाटेर वर्णने शुनि चमकित चिते आर एक दिन मोर प्राण सखी कोइल जार नाम आ सकल माधुर्यमय कृष्ण नाम गुणीजन गाने शुनिनु श्रवणे तार एक गुणग्राम सहजे अबला ताहे कुलबाला गुरुजन ज्वाला घरे शहनो नागरे आरती बाळये केमुने पराण धरे भाविया चिंतिया मने दड़ाईनु पराण रविवार नय कहत उपाय कैछे मिलये दास उद्धवे कय. As Sri Ramakrishna heard the line, "Ah, the blessed name of Krishna, full of honeyed sweetness," he could not remain seated any longer. He stood up in a state of unconsciousness and went into deep samadhi. That is what Thakur is. The younger Naren stood at his right, regaining partial, so that he should not fall. Regaining partial consciousness, the master repeated the name of Krishna in his melodious voice. Tears flowed down his cheeks. He sat down again. That means he is experiencing the Radha's condition, which the musician is singing. He sat down again. The musician continued his singing. Vishakha, a friend of Radha, runs out and brings a portrait of Krishna. She holds it before Radha's eyes. Radha says, "I see the picture of him whom I beheld on the Jamuna's bank. Ever since then, I have been in this plight. I see the picture of him whom I beheld on the Yamuna's bank. The name Vishaka spoke is the name of him who is painted here. He also played on the flute, is the beloved of my soul. He who played on the flute is the beloved of my soul. His virtues, the minstrel sang to me. He has bewitched my heart." So various sources Radha has heard about Krishna and seen him. It is none other than he. He who has bewitched my heart is none other than he. So saying, Radha falls in a swoon, restored to her senses by her friends. At once she says to them, "Show me him, O friends, whom I saw reflected in my soul." And they promise her that they will. Now Sri Ramakrishna with Narendra and the other devotees began to sing the kirtan in a loud voice. They sang. So Thakur has taken over the singing from the kirtanas at this point. And they are singing again about Chaitanya. Behold, the two brothers have come who weep while chanting Hari's name. This full song we have heard many times, so here only 2 lines are given. They continued, "See how all Nadia is shaking Navadip under the waves of Gauranga's love." That is the fun. Huh? In Bengali, full song is given here. যাদের হরি বলতে নয়ন জোরে তারা তারা দুবাই এসেছে রে। যারা আপনি কেঁদে জগৎ কাঁদায়, যারা মার খেয়ে প্রেম যাচে, যারা ব্রজের কানাই বলাই, যারা ব্রজের মাখন চোর, যারা জাতির বিচার নাই করে, যারা আপা মারে কোল দেয়, all this is in brackets, যারা আপনি মেতে জগৎ মাতায়. So Thakur and Narendra, mostly Thakur, is providing this line, improvising these lines. যারা আপনি মেতে জগৎ মাতায়, যারা হরি হয়ে হরি বলে, হরি হয়ে হরি বলে, যারা জগাই মগাই উজ্জারিল, যারা আপন পর নাই বাঁচে, জীব তারাতে তারা দুবাই এসেছে রে নিতাই গৌর. নেক্সট সং. নদে টলমল টলমল করে গৌর প্রেমর হিলোরে রে. There one line. Do you know how this is going on in Bengali and English? The Bengali originally came out in 5 volumes, not strictly chronological. And so, in each volume, when that song comes, Mashmasha gives it in full. And later on, in brief. And now in this Akhanda edition, they have been full. All 5 volumes have been arranged chronologically and included in one book. So here, sometimes like this and sometimes like this, because sometimes beginning of a old Bengali volume, sometimes continuation. So that is the problem. And in English, because it is combined, when once it is given, next time it is not given. With an index at the end. Again, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. After regaining consciousness of the outer world, he returned to his seat. He was standing and singing. Turning to him, he said, I don't remember which way I was facing before. Then he began to talk to the devotees. So, because of the change in consciousness and Samadhi, he doesn't remember which side facing he was sitting. So, total transcendence had taken place, removing the old thing totally. It is a new thing for him now. So, in Bengali, a new heading, Pancham Paricheda, has come, and our time is over. So, from this line, we will read again. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviridhitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.